Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. I think we're live. Yes. And if we aren't, well, then I apologize. Although I'd also like to apologize because YouTube has not yet told us what happened to yesterday's live TLDR, short, of course, for the LockerGnome Daily Report. I have filed a bug report. All your comments and likes were saved, but I don't know if yesterday's full episode will be viewable again. So feel good if you tuned in live. If you didn't, I'm sorry. We'll do our best, but that's another reason why we clip out each one of these segments as separate videos so that we have at least something for posterity. And so thank you for joining us during the broadcast, including all the Nomis, the PC Build, the Bingsta, Rob Heathcote, the Marshmallow, his name got cut off, it's a little long, LMRCS, Blizzardo1, Brian, Micaiah, Ed's Computer Support, Wes, Danny Harrington, Courtney, Colorado Geek, Magic Tracks. By the way, we are close to, well, in total, about 325 Nomis. Some of them include people who work within the LockerGnome universe, so I try not to count them. They're kind of a given. Like myself, I'm a Nomi. Banter, right there, as usual. I don't know if Stacy Ferris is here for this broadcast. And if he is, Stacy has a gift. He is going to be gifting a one-year Nomi's subscription to someone in the audience. And we've identified this person. Oh, Austin L. Allen there, yeah. So one of you out there who may be watching right now, I don't know, I don't see their username yet, but they may be coming in sooner or later. Stacy Ferris, who's been a gnome, or not a gnome Dexter, that's a different gnome part of the universe, a Nomi, pretty much from almost the word go, from our first Google Plus Hangout. He just decided to join, didn't realize that I was still alive after Tech TV. Indeed, I'm way alive after Tech TV, which is very dead. So when Stacy gets here, everybody, let me know, and we may be able to say congratulations to the person who's going to be getting a Nomi's annual subscription as a gift from a fellow Nomi. That's how much people have been enjoying being a part of that, including all the information that I've been sharing openly. We had the Google Plus broadcast last night with fellow Nomi Kim Beasley. There's only so much time in the day, and so I'm very grateful that you choose to spend this time, at least when it's broadcasting live, with me. And hopefully, after it's been broadcast live, if you're still spending with me, I'm equally as grateful. Let me go ahead and tell everybody that I am broadcasting, and I'm going to say nothing says lovin' like geeking in the oven. I'm going to tweet that out, share it on Facebook, and go over to the video. And so you press like on the video, on the videos page here, and I just thumbs down. I gave my own video a dislike. That was an accident. You can undo it. I just undid it. You just go from dislike to like. It was easy to do. I'm going to hover over that +1 button. Who has +1'd it publicly? Jessica Kim, Danny Harrington, Skylar Johnson, Jamie Bausch, and Brian Miner have already publicly +1 this, but have they shared it on Google+? So I'm going to go ahead and publicly share it on Google+, just by adding a comment. And again, I hope you do as well. So you can get to that +1 button by pressing like. Can't really do it if you press dislike. That's really disappointing if you would dislike something. In which case, why are you watching something you dislike? What's the point? So 43 of you I know are watching at this point in time. Oh, Stacy is here? Where's Stacy? Did you see Stacy in the chat room?
They said he was there, but I didn't see him.
I didn't see him either. I believe that the person who is going to get that gift subscription is in the audience. I have seen their comment now come in. Yay. But I'll have to be watching for Stacy Ferris back here in the Nomi's chat before I say anything and announce it, because Stacy was the one who wanted to give the gift. He believes so much in what we're doing and helping people and having fun and I guess, engaging everybody. And speaking of engagement, I'm not engaged yet. Working on that. I know a lot of people get engaged on Valentine's Day, but we are going out for a nice sushi dinner. And after that, Diana wanted to go see episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And I tried to convince her to do her hair like Princess Leia with the buns on the side. She said, no, I'm not going to do that. I tried. Although it was your idea, wasn't it, honey?
Yes.
I didn't force... Have you seen episode 1?
No.
She hasn't even seen episode 1. And I hear that the 3D version of episode 1, which we're going to see, is, and I saw it on opening night, not the 3D version, but the 2D version. I hear it's 6 times as bad as the 2D version, since it's 3D, 3 times 2, 6. Other than the pod race scene, and that was the one scene that I said I really wanted to see in 3D. I have expectations that is going to be a fun one. There, Stacey Ferris is here. Okay, so let me go ahead. We're going to record a video since this is Valentine's Day. I'm going to ask you geeks what you do for Valentine's Day. And should I ruin your surprise since it hasn't gotten here yet?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Or I'll let you. Oh, no. I'll let it be a surprise because it may show up during the show.
You should whisper it to him.
I'll whisper it to him.
Okay.
No, because then you can see it.
We'll wait till the end, and then we'll tell him.
No, we wait to the end, and I'll tell you what I got Diana for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Something she really wanted. All right, so you ready, honey?
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and I would ask you to be my Valentine, but I already have one, and she already has me as her Valentine. Diana was so kind to get me chocolate-covered hearts, which I think are kind of disgusting, but it's not, is it, what is it? Oh, no, it's just a heart-shaped box. I don't know, is there Nirvana inside? I can't really tell. But she did write a note on the front, and, oh, well, not really much of a note there inside, but I got some chocolate from my sweeter-than-chocolate girlfriend, and when I went to take a shower, minutes before doing this live broadcast, I come back into the office. It says, be mine for Valentine. All right. I think I will. I don't know what's inside. Let's unbag this together.
Do you want to read the flavors?
Do I want to read the flavors? Oh, I didn't know. Pink champagne heart truffle, milk chocolate pink. I'm getting a color motif with this. Pink is apparently my color. That's a sea salt caramel, which I love, and extra bittersweet Valentine truffle. Ooh, extra bittersweet. I also love that. So she loves me so much. She knows what I love, including surprises. Oh, I'm so excited! Oh! Swedish fish! We're gonna eat Swedish fish at the movies, hun. Dots. Oh my god, I love dots. These things are so delicious. Twizzlers. You knew we'd be taking. I hope you got a big purse because I don't know how the heck we're gonna sneak these in. Oh, my favorite, meat. If you don't know what to get your guy for Valentine's Day, don't even guess. Just make it something in the beef variety. And if they're a vegetarian, they probably appreciate it anyway. Well, probably not the extreme vegetarians, but I got more. And something to eat. Oh, smoked salt caramels. Okay. This is just, okay. I normally don't do this, eating in front of everybody, but I didn't eat lunch, so. You want some? Can you give them? Make sure you don't give them to Wicket. Dogs shouldn't eat chocolate or onions or anything of that variety. So, I hope you had a happy Valentine's Day. We posted an article a little while ago on geeky ideas for Valentine's Day. We'll be sure to link it in the video's description. So if you need help with future Valentine's Days, you may be clued in. Now, if you're someone who's out there who didn't have a Valentine, Diana and I wanted to say that we would be your Valentine. It is known that, and this all, kidding aside, Valentine's Day has one of the highest days for suicides. And I would hope that if you're watching this video, you're not thinking anything like that. We certainly appreciate your support. We love you. We may not know you on a personal basis, but, I don't care how bad you think it is, how lonely you feel, you're not alone. You will always have a family with the LockerGnome community on YouTube or beyond, anywhere I might interact with you. Nothing's worth taking your life. Nothing. Because if you don't think anybody needs you, you haven't been listening to me. So happy Valentine's Day. You're not alone. And if you ever start feeling lonely, just drop me a line. My email address, chris@pirillo.com.
I love you too.
I love you.
Wicket loves him too.
No. I took that video a different direction. Originally, I was just going to, announce the Nomi subscriber, but I thought about it, and I'm like, there are people out there who don't have Valentines. And this, seriously, it's a very, did Wicket just puke on the MacBook Pro?
No, I thought he did. He made a funny noise.
He gagged.
He sneezed/coughed.
It was a sneeze cough? Oh,
Does it go well with the
wow.
wine?
Are you trying to give me diabetes? It's okay, I'll get popcorn at the movies. We'll enjoy these candies together, I'm sure. Although I'm sure anytime candy's brought into the house, I'm like, I go to get it, and it's like, I got 2 Swedish fish left. It's Wicket, right? Yeah. Wicket eats it. All right. Let's go ahead and let's keep that Nomi special on. When do you guys want to do the Nomi's giveaway? We got a Nomi's giveaway. If I can figure out an angle, we could probably do it soon-ish. When could we do the Nomi's giveaway? Should we build up suspense? I'll tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to find out. Here's how we're going to do it. When we get, because we did this yesterday. When we get we had 200 likes yesterday for the video, and that was awesome. You guys actually got to like 269. When we get to 250 likes for this live video, which is not that difficult for you guys to do, you press a button. Not that hard. By the way, you might remember yesterday, you can go to go.tagjag.com/spread to connect your Facebook and Twitter accounts to help spread the love and joy of all the content we're creating for you in the LockerGnome universe. On either network, we appreciate the promotions. When we get to 250 likes, I think we'll announce who's going to be getting that Nomi's gift subscription for a year from a fellow Nomi. I didn't ask him to do it. He just said, hey, do you want to do something? Can you do something like this? I'm like, yes, this is probably how we'd facilitate it. And I think there are quite a few people who are extremely deserving of becoming a Nomi, but a few people. Anybody's welcome to join, by the way. So 250 loves. Yes. Why did YouTube not change it to the love button?
I know.
Well, you press my love button? It was a little creepy, wasn't it? All right, so, all right. Oh, well, that pushed people up. Not quite close to 200 yet, but we're getting there. We're on our way. Let's talk about game performance just for a minute. I think this is something that people would love to hear about. This was actually brought to our attention thanks to Brandon Lees, a Nomi. Brandon Lees, not Brandon Lee. Not to be confused. They're two different people, believe it or not. All right. Ready, honey?
Right.
You may be someone who plays video games on your PC. And if you are, you're probably looking to eke out every last drop of performance. Many of you ask, which video card should I get? To which I respond, well, it depends on which games you're playing. Because honestly, they're always neck and neck, which is great. You need competition. But that being said, maybe you're looking for some software tweaks that aren't readily available within the drivers that you might have installed on Windows. So, as I was scanning through my Nomi's subscriptions, one post popped out at me. Brandon Lees, he's a part of the Nomi's community, and you could register too at nomis.com, because if you want me to really see what you're doing when you become a part of that community, I'm paying attention more there than anywhere else, because we only have so much time in the day. But I think you can all appreciate what he uncovered. You may have known about it before. I had no idea about it. Something called Game Booster 3. And you know what? It works. If you are looking to add that much more performance to your PC, specifically gaming on that PC, take a look at Game Booster. I had our contributing author, Matt Ryan, take a look, because I was like, well, this isn't right. Usually it's not so easy as installing software, pressing a couple buttons, and then magic happens. No, it really kind of is that easy. So, you have to pardon me, got a little choked up there. I get emotional when I talk about PC games. Not really, I just had something in my throat. So, if you are looking for even 5 extra frames per second on your games, on the PC, Game Booster 3 may be the solution for you. So it's less about, tweaking things outright, and more about just letting software do the job for you. So I gotta ask, anybody on YouTube watching this live video, have you guys heard of Game Booster 3 before? Have you guys heard of it? All you Nomis behind me? Again, I'm not a big PC gamer, but I am big into performance. So you can take a look at it, because we did our own analysis and saw that it did improve performance. I mean, you're not going to make massive gains, but just if you could eke out 1 more frame per second, isn't doing something worth it? And I think for tweakers, it absolutely is. That's what keeps us tweaking. So If you know of a gamer, and if you're not a gamer, I'm sure you know of one. I mean, we are generally people who love technology, at least the people who are in this part of my community. We talked about what we saw, including Matt saying without having to invest in any hardware improvements, a 25% increase in frames is hard to overlook. 25% increase. This is not a scam. We only found it because Brandon Lees from the Nomi's community suggested it, and it worked. Unbelievable. I think that if you buy games, you owe it to yourself to also get software that's going to help you improve the performance of games. And more than anything, take a look. If you do get it, and you also see a performance boost, leave a comment on that blog post, which, by the way, is linked in the video's description here. And before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and +1 it, like Brad Tomlinson, Ryan Carteret, Sean Jordan, Stacey Ferris, and Ben Tarr already have. I'm going to tweet it and like it as well. Just let other people know. Comment here, comment there. I just want to know that it's not us who's seen this performance boost. This is not a paid endorsement or anything. It's just us telling you we think you would like something like this because we know we have a lot of gamers in our community. Even though a lot of you aren't gamers, like myself, not a huge gamer, I'm just a casual gamer. I really dislike when people say, oh, get a real gaming platform. Well, I play games on any platform that lets me play games. There's no such thing as a real gaming platform or real games. If it's a game, it's a game. Period. End of story. But if you're a PC gamer and you're going to go to the grave with that PC in your cold, dead hands, you owe it to yourself to boost game performance today. Don't wait to upgrade hardware. Just get better software. And that's what we're pointing you to. Garfield 736, hi, just got home. Cool, well, I'm glad you could join us. Instead of rushing home and watching Saturday morning cartoons, as opposed to, not Saturday, you wouldn't rush home to watch Saturday morning cartoons. You'd wake up and, instead of rushing home and watching afternoon cartoons, you rush home and watch Chris Pirillo. That's just great. No, actually, I'm very appreciative of that. Mention the robotics competition for me, please. Well, looks like GleeFax26 has a robotics competition. There you go. By the way, thanks for the backlink, Chris. Didn't even know you did it till today. Got my name wrong, but still a great thing. Oh, God. Sorry, PC509. Where did we get your name wrong? In today's TLDR? Heiss and Fettig? We got the backlink of the day is heiss-fettig.de, who are talking about our blog post about what it's like to work at Google. So if it wasn't that one, if it's another one, please email me so that we can correct it. I would want to change that because we certainly do not want to make any mistakes. I'm sorry, I'm just turning behind me to see if anything else. See, look at that. We got some useful stuff, including IRC support, just like that. Hopefully they do not share the password for the chat room because we have to lock it down just for Nomis. Yeah, and I just noticed the same thing. The Snare 100 on YouTube says they don't have Saturday morning cartoons anymore. That's crazy. What's the point of waking up on Saturday? You can't get up to watch cartoons. Maybe I need to do a Saturday morning broadcast for kids. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? A Saturday morning kids show talking about technology. Do you think people would tune in if I did that, though? Like on YouTube? Hey, kids! It's Chris Pirillo, and today's topic is going to be PCs, because that's what they're going to want to talk about anyway. What you should and should not do. One thing you shouldn't do to PCs is stick things in them. Unless, of course, the things that you're sticking in those PCs were designed to be stuck in the PCs. Things like gum, gummy bears, or anything of the sticky variety probably should not be inserted into a PC. Things you can stick in PCs, USB cables, so long as that USB cable is connected to a USB port. You don't want to cram a USB cable into a FireWire port. That would be bad. Is that condescending? Oh, it was borderline condescending. Well, it was for kids, you know? Yeah. I was practicing. I was seeing, how would that work? Would that work? Use the cup holder for your coffee or your afternoon Valentine's Day juice. I'm half tempted to bust into this beef. But I know my parents are coming home with some wonderful meats from a German deli we have in the area. Oh, so delicious. So delicious. It's delicious. All right. Calm down. Coming down. got to move on to the next topic, which is iPhone apps. That's really, I think we all want to talk about iPhone apps. Really?
Yes.
Do we not? Not today. You will always get my name wrong. It's Kane Montroy. Oh, instead of Cane Montreal. I'm really bad at French. Never took it in high school or college. Never took it at all. Went to Paris, though. Nice city. And they really weren't as rude as some people say French people are. They really weren't. I found them very warm and loving for heathens, honestly. All right, so let's go ahead and talk. I was kidding, all you French people out there, all three of you watching this video. Thank you. Rob Heathcote's telling me to focus, unless the camera went out of focus and it's something completely different. This is what happens when I eat sugar. I'm all over the map. I shouldn't have had that caramel. Now it's like... All right. You ready, honey?
Right.
Wait. Okay. Well, did you start it?
No.
Okay. How many iPhone apps do you have installed? If you're anything like me, in the area of 900 or so, that's a lot. Now, even if you don't have an iPhone, you probably have a smartphone, and I would ask you, in even capacity, how many apps do you have installed on your smartphone that's not an iPhone? Do you have a few? A couple? 1,000? Apps, for the most part, are easy come, easy go. It doesn't matter, really, if you install everything that's out there, as long as you can find what you need. And there are certainly some leading apps, which you may already have installed, but have you updated them lately? We all, when we see something for the first time, we all create, kind of in our head, an idea of what it is. Like the first time you saw me on YouTube, or maybe the first time you read a blog post, you probably thought in your head, wow, this is a really crazy, who is this guy? I don't want to know him at all. And then maybe you came back to me and realized years later things have changed. Because sometimes things change. And especially if they're evolving, they get better over time. So even if you looked at an app a year ago and had already passed judgment on the app, it may be time to look again. So I just wanted to point out, in conjunction with the article that we've written, it's linked in the description, 5 iPhone apps to update right now. In fact, I'm looking at it, and it looks like 20 of you have plus one'd it, and I'm going to hover over, and let's see who's done it. Brad Tomlinson, Ryan Carteret, Sean Jordan, Jamie Bausch, and Stacy Ferris. And see, I may read off your name if you plus one it as well, and you're one of the first 5 to do it. Be the first, and I'll get you mentioned in these videos. 5 iPhone apps to update now. Instagram is the first one. We've talked about it before, but they've done something with Instagram such that it increases the clarity of the image before it's actually published. So even if you didn't like Instagram, you didn't like the filters before, it was a bit... it required a bit more manual tweaking of the photo before you could share it. They've solved that with the new option to increase the brightness and contrast, something that up until they released this the other day, for free by the way, I had to rely on a third-party app to increase the contrast and the brightness. As a matter of fact, I've got my iPhone charging right now. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. Now, while I'm doing this, you're more than welcome to look at the link and see the other, the photos, or, not photos, the other links and apps that we're recommending, including Spotify, LinkedIn, and beyond. Even if you looked at these things before, you owe it to yourself to look at them again because they have new, rather major features that could change functionality. This is important, especially with websites, with content, with apps, any one of those things. Even if you said, oh, it sucks. It may have sucked 6 months ago, but it may not suck today. Everything is in a constant state of underdevelopment. So I'm glad you appreciate the things I'm doing today. I hope to do it the same way or better next year. But you could certainly look at the things that I did a year ago and say, wow, he was not doing that well. I've changed. Everything changes, including applications. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to take a picture of who I see on the other side. Diana, she's helping facilitate, hang on, got the light that's shining down there in Wicket. You ready? Don't worry, I'm not going to publish this anywhere. I just want to show them. Took a picture of Diana there. And I want to show you what I'm talking about in terms of the filtering. So it increases, oh wow. So I don't know if you're able to see that there. Let me turn the preview around. And I'm going to tap the button again. And her hair actually stands out and becomes brown in the background. You see how it increases the contrast in the background? That's what we're talking about. So now you can do that inside the application itself. And I like that. It saved me a step. Instagram is great. It is free. someone who used to work for LockerGnome. I ended up getting them a job over there at Instagram. Hi, Shane, if you're watching. He's certainly been taking my feedback and trying to incorporate it into the app to make it better. It's an easy way to share your photos on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr. All your favorite, web connections that you might have are built right into the app, so it's easy to share. And the list kind of it's somewhat comprehensive, but as I said before, if anything, when you look at an app, don't assume it's going to be that way forever. Some of these apps get better with time, especially when you give them feedback. So if you have any examples of other apps that have gotten better over time, please let us know. I mean, we may have missed one to make the recommendation for everybody else, whether you leave a comment here or on the article itself. We're always looking for the next best thing to come along, even if it wasn't the best a while ago. All right. Open a toy, Chris, says Manual C8. No. But we're about 100 likes shy of announcing the Nomi's giveaway subscription. For a year, though. I don't think Stacy's going to support them for, their entire lives. By the way, I heard today that the iPad 3 is going to be scratch and sniff. It's a rumor. And just like every other rumor, it's stupid! Until we actually know what the iPad 3 is going to be. And when we do, we'll probably, during the Apple Live announcement, that day, we'll probably move up the TLDR broadcast to coincide with the Apple announcement, so I can give you kind of like, as I'm watching the live blogs from across the net, like going, oh, wow, it's going to have this, it's going to have that, and we'll have this dialogue going on, kind of like what we do with the TLDR in general. All right, hopefully we're getting some questions coming in. That's better than the other rumors. I agree. Let's see here. The opposite of that is pocket heat. It's only gotten worse. Oh, boy. Is that even doable, Chris, in your opinion? How stinking doable is a scratch and sniff iPad? It's doable. They can make, if anybody can make it happen, a smelly-inducing dispensing iPad. That's what I want. How else are they going to improve it? Oh, they're going to pack more pixels. Whoopee! Oh, they're going to make it faster. Whoopee! Make it, emit a scent. Who would not want an iPad that smelled like their favorite scent? Because, honestly, a lot of the people who carry iPads, they're kind of stinky. Just being honest with you guys. Didn't want to be the one to break it to you, but everyone else is afraid to tell you that you kind of smell funny. Don't shoot the messenger. God, they get so upset at me. Actually, I don't know if they're getting upset at me or they're laughing. Ew. I probably just offended 95% of my audience.
Including me.
Including Diana. And she definitely does not smell funny. Let's go ahead and rock and roll since we're waiting for those likes to come in, or the loves today. Just read the Instagram is coming to Android. Oh, is that real or is that just a rumor? We don't know. Unless it was on an Instagram site. That may be true. I haven't looked into it, but that would be cool. Instagram is pretty simple, although there are a lot of Instagram clones that, to tell you the truth, work just as well as Instagram. FYI. All right, so we get this question frequently, or at least frequently enough. Hang on just a second. Let me type this in. How to update all your social networks at once. You can follow me everywhere. Name one network I don't exist on. I mean, I may exist. How do you exist on a network? No, name one network I don't have an account at. Still sounds weird. Beep. So you are probably engaged on a variety of social networks in social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, MySpace, Google+, wherever, right? And we're constantly looking for your questions. In fact, time and time again, we've asked the community, what kind of content do you want to deliver? Or to have delivered to you? I am having some issues. Hang on, let me reset myself. Oh, it's so much better. Yeah, no, I can see clearly now. How many times do you want to update all networks at one time? Probably more than once. Because this is a question many of you have asked. You said, Chris, how can I update all my social networks at one time? Well, we've found some tools that may help facilitate that process. Now, I gotta warn you, even though you've posted something to Twitter, doesn't mean that it's gonna have as good of a play on Facebook or possibly on Google+. But if you want to just write once, run anywhere, or read anywhere, really. I was borrowing from the Java terminology. We found some services that may make it possible for you to update all your social networks at one time. And the value, again, is that you're not wasting your time if you want to share the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, the same thing. Obviously, you couldn't update YouTube in the same way that you might update Twitter. I mean, you could upload a video in two places, but what's the point? You could easily tease your YouTube video on Twitter, but we're talking about brief status updates, simple things you might post to Facebook or potentially on Twitter or Tumblr or whatever blog you might have set up, possibly even sending it through email. We've found several tools to help make that possible, one of which I'm just going to highlight because you're more than welcome to look at the other recommendations. My top recommendation is using If This Then That, ifttt.com. I've called it out several times before during these videos, but if you missed it, there's your chance. ifttt.com, the ultimate power users tool for doing just about anything you might want to do on the internet today, at least with content. I'm going to go ahead and +1 the article that we linked in the description. It looks like the first 5 people to do it: Sean Jordan, Skylar Johnson, Stacey Ferris, Matthew Sabia, and Brian Miner. +1'd it publicly. If you +1 the articles on LockerGnome.com, I may read your name out in the future. And we go into detail on why you would want to do something like this, why you might not want to do something like this. I used to do this, and not so much anymore, largely because I realized Facebook was a different beast than Twitter was a different beast from Google+. I've done my best to keep people connected to my universe of, I guess, what's ever in my head, but ultimately, I think you can have, a better level of engagement if you're sharing on more than one network. Now, that doesn't mean that if you post in every place, you're going to be engaged in every place. That is, people interacting with you. Certainly, you'll discover what works well in one place may not work for another. But the bottom line is, it is possible. So thank you for asking the question how you could update all of your social networks at once. We found the answers and have explained exactly how you can get it done.
Yay. Phil said you were trying to say right once, post most places at once.
Yes. Well, the Java thing was write once, run anywhere, and that's what I said, but then I said write once, read anywhere. That's an old thing. All right. Palin Tech Talk says, I've been getting a lot of criticism from older adults saying I don't know why I want an iPhone because I'm young. Do you see this as in younger kids who want it? Do they want it just to want it? I know why I want one, but I do see the other side of the argument. Oh, older adults don't know why you want an iPhone? Because they're thinking of it like a phone. They're not thinking of it like a computer. Pitch it like it's a computer. I know I get a lot of hate for saying that phones are computers, but these smartphones are computers. Get over it. If you're trying to convince an adult that you want a smartphone, don't call it a smartphone. Call it a pocket computer. That's what it is, guys. Hardware, software, operating system. That's a computer.
Yeah, you can even print from it.
And you can even print from it. Thank you, Diana. I forgot about that. Yeah, and she says that's crazy, and I believe it's nutty. Why would you want to print from a phone?
I do.
You want to print from a phone?
I do.
I don't. Very rarely do I print from a phone. PC509 says, thank you for the ifttt.com. Never heard of it. Just signed up. Looks awesome. Dude, you know I'm going to deliver you good stuff. Now, if you would have been paying attention and subscribed to the LockerGnome email newsletter months ago, you would have found out before now. So what are you waiting for? Yeah, you're right. I'm upset. I'm upset at every one of you who haven't yet subscribed to the LockerGnome email newsletter. Have you? Don't make me... do you want to see a vein protrude from my neck? LockerGnome email newsletter! I'll tattoo it here if I need to! It's free, and it's informative. So even if you can't catch all the videos that we have to share, at least you've got a digest you can catch up on. Some light reading over the weekend. And it's easy to do. And it's free. Oh, thank you, Ron Nice, for reminding me to settle down. I think it's the chocolate. I'm going to blame the chocolate.
I think so.
Again, chocolate is very dangerous for my head. And apparently my mouth, too. Was that number 4?
Yes.
So we have 2 more? Yes, I know we have 2 more. How to make free phone calls to the U.S. or Canada on iOS or Android. Now, this is something about Vonage. Let's see here. How can I pitch this article? How can I better position? How can I position this? Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I guess so. This is the look of disappointment that I'm giving to you if you're still paying a lot for making phone calls wherever you happen to be from, because there's so many applications out there that can help you make free phone calls. In fact, we blogged about one of them on LockerGnome. I know there are several because we blogged about another one last week. How to make free phone calls to the US and Canada on iOS and Android. We're not leaving you out. You thought we would, but we didn't. So for any of you who said, oh, you only talk about the iPhone, you're wrong. I also talk about Android. And we even mentioned it in this article. Take a look. It's in the description. I'll wait for you. It may take you a while to read, though, because it's a very comprehensive article. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and +1 it, just like the first 5 people did. Sean Jordan, Skylar Johnson, Jamie Bausch, Stacey Ferris, and Andrew Epperson. +1. So now people know. See, I may mention your name in a future video related to these LockerGnome articles if you +1 them. That's how I get to know you. By name, because you're a real person, as am I. And sometimes you want to talk to a real person. And to do that, it's probably going to need some kind of equipment, potentially a piece of hardware to talk through, because you can't just yell things across the room. I mean, you could. It just wouldn't be very efficient, especially if they happen to be in another country. So, my question, are you still paying for phone service today? Are you? Matthew Sabia just notes here, in the YouTube live comment thread, paying for phone calls is so 1990s. I agree. It's so outmoded at this point. Wi-Fi rules, and you can make free phone calls from the iPod Touch 2. He made a few this past weekend. That's from TFPFP, and I believe that's Fireman Rich. That's his other handle in real life. I love this show, says Miss Bindiab4. Well, thank you, I guess. I just subscribed to LockerGnome, says the S Davies 93. Cool. But the topic right now is phone calls. Are you guys still paying for phone calls? Here? Really? Really? No one. No, they're chatting. That's how they're communicating. Really, that's how they've decided to communicate. Although Ron was apparently confused with the article. I'm not exactly sure why he's confused with the article. Let's see if we can provide some clarification for Ron. So you can't just say you were confused. How exactly were you confused? Because Matt Ryan, who wrote the article, may be able to address the question if it wasn't me, right? There's so many options out there. The bottom line is, if you're not making phone calls for free, you're missing the boat, because I'm telling you could be saving a lot of money, and we're very happy to help you do that. Check out the article on LockerGnome.com for more information. You're the best guy on YouTube, says Orcs Warhammer. Well, thank you. I disagree. I think Philip DeFranco is probably the best guy, if there is a the best guy. I like Phil. I met him, and we knew who each other were. He knew me, I knew him. That's always cool. Like, it's really awkward if you know who they are and they have no idea who you are. It's really weird, especially if you think they're popular and they think you're popular, or you think you're more popular than you are. Hi, I'm Blue. That's what it was like when I met Steve Jobs. Hi, I'm Chris Pirillo. I host Call for Help on Tech TV. And he said, great, buy an iMac with a super drive. I'll never forget it. I'm like, really? I did, and I did. It worked. He sold me. I was going to get it anyway, but even if I wasn't going to get it, even if I came in there to get a floppy disk, which they still sold back in the day. All right. Looks like Felipe Postiga says, I don't pay. I use the internet with the apps for the iPhone or a special data plan that has calls for free to guys with the same plan. That's what you need, a man with the plan. We are at 185 likes right now.
Oh, we're so close.
Which means that even if my dad came home, he still wouldn't come on. He needs at least 200. I'm pushing for 250 before we can do the Nomi's subscription gift. Well, I'm asking for it because, it's just something to look forward to in these live TLDR broadcasts. The next article I wanted to tell you about on LockerGnome.com, which I hope you are clicking along and liking, as we're doing these broadcasts. How to make multicam video editing easier with a plugin. And I hear that what is it? What's the big one from Final Cut Pro? The new one, Final Cut X or Final Cut Pro X. I'm not a video editor. Has an easier way of doing something like this. You just automatically drag the clips in there. It matches everything, and it goes by wave files or waveforms, not wave files. The waveforms in the audio, the video, it matches things up perfectly, so you can take videos from multiple sources and not have to synchronize them manually. You can do it automatically, and we got a piece of software that we could basically do that outside of Final Cut if you don't have the latest version. So it looks like it'll work with Exodus, Avid Media Composer, Adobe Premiere, and Sony Vegas Pro. Final Cut Pro 7 and X, or 7 and 10, if X is 10, just like OS 10 is 10. All right. So, you may edit video. I know I do not, or at least not frequently. I'll usually rely on something like MPEG Stream Clip to trim the beginning and the end. I prefer to shoot videos live to tape with no clips, no editing involved, because it takes time. And because video editing takes time, you probably are looking for tools to make video editing better. Now, you've probably shot scenes before with one camera, but have you ever tried shooting with 2 cameras or more? You might realize that getting all of those scenes and tracks to line up in perfect harmony takes some work. So why don't you let software do the job for you? We've uncovered, thanks to them reaching out to us, a plugin that'll work with a variety of very popular video editors from Singular Software. It'll work with Final Cut Pro 7 and X, or 10, depending on how Apple wants to let us pronounce that, or say it's pronounced. Edius, or it's Edius, Avid Media Composer, Adobe Premiere, or Sony Vegas Pro. So it's not just for one video editing tool or another. It's for a range of the most popular ones, at least that I know of. We've highlighted popular video editing tools for Windows a few weeks ago. If you didn't see that article, it's definitely there on LockerGnome. But we know that to make a better video, you may want to have multiple camera angles. But getting them to sync up, you may need help. Specifically with the help like something like this, a plugin. Now, if you didn't know, I just found out that Final Cut Pro X or 10, because see, it's OS 10, not OS X, OS 10. In fact, if I ask the Mac to say it out loud and I type in OS X in the terminal, it'll say OS 10. Try it. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. They've apparently integrated the ability to automatically synchronize, at least that I know of, waveforms, so that you can take multiple camera angles, even from multiple cameras and frame rates, and synchronize them together. No muss, no fuss. But if you're looking for something to go a bit beyond that, you may need the help of a plugin. And I know there are so many of you out there who are just getting started with video and looking for suggestions. Don't think that what you have there in the box, or even out of the box, is all you would have to work with. By installing plugins that work very, very well, you could effectively make the videos that you're editing look even better than they look today. I do not... I see we have 200 likes for the live YouTube video feed. I don't know if we have 200 likes for this individual video clip, but hey, I'll take as many likes as I can possibly get. I think, more than anything, I'd be curious to know, if you do any kind of video editing, what your favorite video editor plugin is, because I'm guessing many of you will mention the same thing. Not necessarily the one we just wrote about on LockerGnome that we linked there in the description. And before I forget, let me go ahead and +1 it, like 27 other people have to this point. Brian Miner, Stacey Ferris, Sean Jordan, Ryan Carteret, and Brad Tomlinson. I'm going to go ahead and +1 it too. +1 it too.
Stacey Ferris is on it.
Stacey Ferris is definitely on it. He's one of the first people, I think, that likes the articles we do on LockerGnome. And maybe you do too, but you have to let us know. +1, like, share. And I really want to know what you guys think in terms of the best plugin for any one of those video editors out there. This one has one job, and that is to better synchronize clips from different camera angles. And that's something that could definitely improve your video production, because then you can have multiple angles, and instead of manually having to synchronize the audio, You can just let the plugin do its job. Plugins can be very wonderful as long as they're done very well, and this one appears to be done very well. So, what's your favorite video editor plugin? I should have asked in why, but I didn't. Have you tried i4 software video camera for the iPhone or iPad? So cool. And you can do all that on the fly. I just installed it. No, I have not. Let's see here. iPhone, i4 software, video, iOS. I'm Googling it right now. I want to see what we got here. Video camera, it's a video studio. Wow, 82 votes at $8. It's a heavy one, not universal, but it runs on your iPod, or I'm sorry, your iPhone, not native to the iPad. Live, non-linear editing. You can't really, yeah, but you can't pull in video clips from other sources, it doesn't look like. Oh, wait, record up to 8 remote cameras now instead of 4. Never mind, that said it all. Switch camera while recording? That's kind of interesting. We may be able to have the app installed on multiple devices and then record it and have multiple camera angles from different phones.
That's cool.
That's very interesting. Yeah. I gotta look into this one, folks. Thank you for the recommendation. See, I tell you, I always look for this stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what it looks like, guys. It's something called Video Camera by i4 Software. $10. Still isn't bad for what you get. And apparently you can record multiple angles from different devices on the fly. Honey, we may have to get this.
Yeah.
I want to try that. I don't know what we wouldn't necessarily record from 2 different angles, or how to really coordinate that, but that's kind of neat. To have a fully produced video on the fly like that, without having to worry about synchronizing anything like audio and whatnot. Oh, that's wonderful. So Collaboracam, that's another one. App Store Chronicle. I don't know. Does Collaboracam though record on the fly as you're bopping around? Does it record on the fly? And if so, what quality? I think that is really the most important part of what we're looking for here. Yeah, we may have to try this one. I mean, and get in. I don't know if you'd install it on multiple phones or devices. Because I have the iPod Touch, the iPad has a camera connected to my same account, so you could potentially have 3 different camera angles and then controlling it from different, and then have a fully produced video from different angles. Yeah. That might be kind of fun. I don't often say video editing or doing things with video is fun. This is fun because it's easy. I just flip a switch and we're rocking and rolling. Let's go ahead. We mentioned the backlink of the day already. What about Camtasia? No, Camtasia's not. Camtasia's for capturing though. That we're talking about, a video recording, Kim, like taking 2 phones, connecting them somehow by way of software, however it manages it, pressing a button and being able to switch from one angle to another on the fly, and that I guess is what's recorded, which is kind of insane. Did you enjoy pretending to be a priest as a child, Chris? Oh God,
What?
Is that what my dad shared in the hangout last night, Bentar?
Oh no.
Thanks, Kim. Actually, who asked that question? Was it Stacy asked that question of my dad last night, or was it who else? Kim and I guess the coach did. One of them. Has that video gone live? Have you edited it? Edited it? I have no idea. Let's see how we're doing with the likes. 217. All right, guys, I'll cut you some slack. I don't know if we're going to hit 250 today because my dad's not here. If my dad was here, we'd definitely hit there because apparently they really like my dad. If you get to 225, we'll call it even. We'll call it a day at 225 because I think we've gotten, how many have we cranked out? 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That sounds about right. You can edit with Camtasia, but Camtasia is not a video editor. That's like word processing in Notepad. Notepad is not a word processor. It's a text editor, but it's not a word processor. 221 likes. All right, so many of you. So 220. We'll do. I think we can do probably a separate video on it.
Okay.
And let me actually pull up TeamSpeak. See if I can get Stacy here. Give me a second. Hey, Stacy, are you in TeamSpeak? Let's see. Apparently not. I was gonna let Stacy basically introduce why he was going to say this. Wait, did I have it? I must have had the volume turned down. Stacy's not here, right? Oh, there he is. There's Stacy. Hey, Stacy.
Hang on, I don't think my audio's...
You're better. We could hear you. And now we can't. It was good.
Okay, is that any better? I just now installed the audio driver, sorry.
Yeah, you're kind of a little choppy, but not horribly. Give me a quick brown fox.
What's going on? Test 1, 2.
You guys hear him okay? Can you Nomi's hear him okay? And as Rob Heathcote notes, if you can't find the like button, go to Chris Pirillo on Twitter for the right link. Or Facebook. And please, if you do +1 it or whatnot, tweet it, like it, share it, get it out there, guys. We need help. Even if you like the video, you have to take it a step further, because right now that's not frictionless, is the word I'm looking for. Okay, Stacy, I think what I want to do is set the stage, kind of explain a bit why what we're talking about, and then let you kind of explain why you're doing this, and then who is and I have the name or the handle, and I think you remember the handle as well. They're here watching the live video feed. I don't know if you wanted to announce it or if you wanted me to facilitate that introduction.
I'll let you do it.
Okay. So we're going to do a separate video on this. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Are you ready?
Yeah, hold on. Start over.
Well, you have... No, let's try that again. Sorry. Sorry, hen. Oh, sorry.
Hold on.
I know it seems like I've been talking a lot about Nomis lately, and some of you have accused me of this. Although if you look at everything that I do, it's but a small fraction of the information that I happen to be sharing. And I'm very happy to report that 3 weeks into it, we have a little over 300 people who have joined for business advice and, I guess, shared intelligence. One of those people is Stacy Ferris, who joined after watching one of the Nomi's live Google Plus broadcasts, the Hangouts that we were doing. He joined right away, and he hasn't regretted it. And he asked me if he could give a gift subscription to someone else. And he didn't really have anybody in mind and wondered, who that might be. And we've had a lot of people who've been very supportive of those efforts. A few people who haven't, but they don't really understand what's going on, or they're communists, or they generally think that the world revolves around them. But there are some people who have supported and continue to support our community and understand that we're still doing the same thing we're doing anyway. We're giving away tons of content and information on LockerGnome.com and beyond, including doing these live YouTube broadcasts and incorporating every part of our community, whether you're a part of the Nomi's subscription plan or not. So, Stacy, what was your thought behind giving a gift of a year's subscription to one of our LockerGnome community members who wasn't yet a Nomi?
Well, I actually felt bad, Chris, because when you're doing your TLDRs, I'm looking at the comments, and it's like, I'm saving up, I'm doing my best, I promise I'm going to join, I'm trying hard, I can't get the funds, and I'm like, I can afford to give one out. Why not let them, let Chris find someone who's deserving and he thinks should have it? Why not?
Well, our goal with Nomi's is, it's yes, to embrace the community, and largely those who are on YouTube have been geeks and people who love tech, but I don't think people realize that Nomi's is built for business intelligence, people who are making a living in business in one way or another, whether their business is related to tech or not. Because my advice that I might give as someone who operates a business and has for 15 years is more valuable to a small business owner than it might be to an average geek. This isn't just the same stuff that I might do elsewhere that I've been doing for free. And Stacy, I think you would agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though I'm not doing this for business itself, I don't own the business. I work in IT, so it does help.
Yeah, there are actually quite a few IT workers who are part of Nomis, and quite a few people who need those IT services. Well, over time, Nomis have been, even this brief time, have been getting paid gigs, which I think would make it worth the subscription. So the recipient of this, not really chosen at random, but Stacy and I talked about it, and I think we agree, and this is all Stacy's doing, nothing to do with me. We would like to extend this annual Nomi subscription, courtesy of Stacy, this gift, for a year, to Inbalance by Design, because as she wrote here 11 seconds ago, I love that TLDR also covers business topics. She has been at just about every single one of these live YouTube broadcasts, and I know many of you are deserving of this. I wish I could do everything I'm doing for free. I can't. I had to draw the line specifically with business-related matters, so I'm very happy to say that Inbalance by Design, her handle on YouTube, will be getting this gift subscription, and hopefully that will lead to greater things for her and her business. And in fact, she loves us covering business topics. I'm sure she will be a great addition to the community. So, Stacy, this is the right thing?
That's it.
It's pretty easy, I would say. And so thank you, everybody who has supported this change. And it's not really, massive change, because if you think about it, nothing's really changed. I mean, it's like people accused me of, supporting Microsoft while at the same time denouncing Microsoft when I was saying the same words. It's not about what I'm doing. It's really what you perceive that I'm doing. Nomi's has been, I would say, a success, and I'm not the only one who would say that. If you want to take anybody's word for it, you're free to ask any one of the Nomis. They've been very, very happy with what I have provided them to this point, including a variety of discounts and certainly business advice that could save them time and money. And we've had fun as well. It's not just about, business. I mean, business can be fun. So this may happen again. We may give away other gift subscriptions to other people. I can't do that, as I said, for everybody. That would devalue, the information that I'm providing. And I'm very happy to continue to do what we're doing with LockerGnome and this YouTube broadcast. I give away a lot for free, so trust me, it's a small price to pay. And for those of you who don't want to pay any money, well, it's not for you. If you don't see value in the information I'm providing, or if the value to you is free, I'd like to believe that I'm a little more valuable than free, and the information that I have may be able to help you over a hump that you might be having with a business, or, just in your regular old internet endeavors, even if you're not in business and you just want to belong to the community. So thank you, Stacy, for doing this. I think it is certainly in the spirit of the community that we're building within Nomis. Is there anything else you wanted to add for those who are just thinking that Nomis is a crazy idea?
No, absolutely not. And we need more people that are business oriented too, because you're giving me ideas. You guys really are about starting a business. I mean, I had no idea to do it, and now this stuff is flowing through my head hearing you guys in TeamSpeak. So more power to us.
Anything else other Nomis who are connected to TeamSpeak right now want to throw in here?
I think just the knowledge alone, whether in your business you know someone who is, you're a part of a team with a larger business, you don't even have to be the owner. The knowledge that flows through all of the avenues that Nomis have is ridiculous. If you read some of the things that are on people's profiles of what they did, their resumes, it's awing to see it, the people we have in our midst, and it's a great community to be a part of.
So part of that really is trying to produce the Medici effect. And if you're not familiar with this, it's an ebook. You can download it, or it's a real book, really, but you can download the ebook for free on the Medici Effects website. It's putting a whole bunch of people together from disparate backgrounds, mixing them up, and solving problems that otherwise couldn't be solved. It's less about talking to people you already know, okay? Facebook's great for that, certainly, but it's meeting people you otherwise wouldn't have known. My knowledge, as I said before, is potentially more valuable to someone who doesn't have that knowledge. So this organization, Nomis, is less about engaging a community that has been great all these years and continues to be great. Certainly. I'm pricing it in such a way that everybody's welcome to join. As I say, my annual rate is $97. I dare you to find a consultant to give you advice for anywhere near that amount. it's very reasonable, especially for those who don't have the knowledge. And so if you do have knowledge that you know is valuable, certainly you would owe it to yourself and your own career to possibly join. And I always believe that you get out of it what you put into it. This is less for people who don't really care what they do, or all they want to do is sit around and do nothing. And it's more for the people who are driven to do something with their lives. This is what I've done for myself. And so in many ways, I'm teaching people how to do the things that I do to help make them more successful, to keep them engaged, and to engender that spirit of community. I'm still doing nothing different than I'm doing today. I'm just doing something more. And I'm definitely helping people come together, people from a variety of backgrounds, geeks and non-geeks alike. And I especially love the non-geeks because I got to tell you, all you geeks out there, if you really want to make some attention and some waves, communicate with people who aren't geeks. Then you have power. Trying to wield your power with people who already know the same things you know doesn't really get you anywhere. Pay attention to that. That will get you so far in life. And you may not be seeing that right now, especially if you are a minor, if you're under the age of 18, if you've never really tried anything on your own, if you've never had a job, or if you never had any inclination to make a living for yourself. You may not understand it. Years later, you might. It may not be for you, but at least I'm trying. And I can tell you, so many people have seen the value in it already, beyond any kind of subscription fee, which, if you boil it down to nothing else, if you value the content I give you for free, you can consider a subscription like a tip, a donation, allowing us to continue our efforts because we are running a business. Running my home office with all this electricity ain't cheap. So every little bit helps. If you take the extra step and continue to support our endeavors, I'm doing my best to support you in return in every way that I possibly can. So it's not the only thing I'm talking about, guys. It really isn't. And for anybody who says really hasn't been paying attention, and more often than not, 15 years of how much free content, well, you do the math. And if it wasn't worth that much to you, I'd ask, why did you even subscribe in the first place? And I'd hope that it was valuable to you, and I'd hope to be able to welcome you in with very open arms. No matter what country you live in, we are doing our best to accommodate and help people have a better life. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Thank you. I muted it. If anybody else wanted to jump in, I apologize. It's good. It's over, you said? Well, my parents didn't make it home, but Imbalanced by Design is probably shocked. Drop me a line if you want. My email address is chris@pirillo.com. And Imbalanced by Design probably already knows that. She's probably freaking out right now. My $95 paid off in a week.
Cool.
What kind of Grape Juice Plus is this? I think it's boxed Grape Juice Plus.
Syrah.
I'm just stealing ideas from my local airports commercials. I'll make a knockoff Nomi's Pixies service for $96. Actually, it's $97, but see, it's at some point it's the same thing. It's in the same area. All right, wow. We almost did come close to 250 likes for this video. Didn't quite make it, but we came close enough. I'm going to go ahead. We've got about 15 minutes or so, I think, for play. Now that I've covered everything I wanted to cover with video, we might record this as a separate segment. It may be valuable. We can open it up to Nomi's to take questions. You want to do that? I'm asking my director-producer. She's like...
I don't know why Wicket's abnormally calm.
Wicket is abnormally calm? He's just he feels very safe and secure. And he looks twisted. Hey, if he's fine, I guess that we'd rather have him that way than any other way. Hey, you guys want to do some questions and answers?
Sure.
I'll wait for everybody else to unmute themselves if they want to.
Why not?
How much do you pay the producer?
Let's do this.
She gets... Well, you're getting sushi tonight, and you're getting a movie,
You're
and...
supposed
I'll
to
think
do
about
that
it.
anyway.
I'm supposed to do that anyway, I
Of course
guess.
you will, Scotsman. Of course you will.
Yeah, where is the Scotsman?
I'm right here.
There we go. Now it's a broadcast.
He's being a ninja.
Speaking of which, Scotsman, I would like to speak with you after.
No chance.
Scotsman's in trouble.
He's going to jail.
Jail directly to jail and not collected £200. Diana, for you.
You guys, if you do not...
So what questions do we have today?
If you do not stop by live.pirillo.com after the TLDR broadcast, you're
There's
missing
one
out on
from
so
YouTube.
much.
Chris, are we ready?
Yeah, give me a second. Are you ready, Diana?
Wait.
One of my favorite times of the day is doing the LockerGnome Daily Report broadcast, or TLDR for short, and answering direct questions that you might be asking on YouTube as you're watching the live video feed. And we have 250 likes. We just passed it a second ago. Thank you for that. Thank you for the likes on any videos that we do. Every one of the videos that we do, actually. That's how we know you like the things we do. You have to like them. Well, you don't have to if you don't like them. Either way, we're happy to answer your questions. And so I'm kind of liking the idea of turning it over to Nomis to answer questions, because I have certain perspectives. I have certain answers. They're scanning for your questions on lockergnome.net, from live.pirillo.com in the chat, during the live YouTube broadcast. So anybody who would say, oh, you're being so exclusionary and you're only paying attention to Nomis, they're obviously not paying attention, because I'm asking you, what's your question? What do we have today, folks?
This one actually is kind of personal for me. For iOS, was the Game Center a fail? And I gotta say, it seems like this is just my opinion, it seems like they're trying to compete with with Xbox Live almost, but does anyone actually use it at all?
To me, it's invisible, but I actually like Game Center, to tell you the truth. We apparently don't have gamers who are Nomis.
Yeah, you do.
I don't use it.
See, I game, but not on the iPhone.
I think the last game I played that used that was a zombie cafe game. That was like the only one I remember.
I just don't care about achievements, I guess. Sorry, I don't care about achievements.
I usually only use the built-in Game Center.
Here's a question straight from YouTube. Toperi, I want to say is the name. How to use Xcode. You can try going onto YouTube, see if there's a tutorial or something like that. I know there's a couple of free podcasts that demonstrate how to do it. Pretty much just mess around with it for a little bit. Build a very simple app and then build from there.
Hang on. So
Wait, what was the
you gotta.
question on how to use Xcode?
Yeah, number one, it's a general question, and you have to define, or I guess we have to define what Xcode is. It's essentially Apple's development platform. It's how you would more easily develop iOS apps or potentially apps for OS X. And it's for programmers, and there are tutorials out there, but just asking how do I start with Xcode, well, what do you want to do? If we don't know what someone wants to do, we can't answer the question. So I don't know if the person really knows what they want to do, in which case it's kind of an invalid question, unfortunately, because if they're asking something specific about Xcode, it's a better question, but just asking that question really doesn't lead us anywhere. And certainly if they're wanting to get started with programming, yes, jump in. Try different things. That would be one way to go. Or look for specific tutorials to help you do what it is that you want to do within Xcode.
Yeah, definitely. To use Xcode, you have to learn a language, because otherwise it's pointless. And if I recall, it's C++. So
Objective-C?
Objective-C.
Objective-C, there we go. I can remember the name.
Well, but again, you're wagging the dog at that point. You're asking how to use something you don't know how to use, and you don't even know why you're using it, or we don't know why the user's using it. They may be asking the question because they're insanely curious, or they don't even know what Xcode can do.
Point taken.
It's very difficult to take these kinds of questions because sometimes I don't know what they're asking for. Sometimes you have to pull what kind of question they want out of there. Like, what do you want to do? And if the question was, hey, I want to build an iOS game, should I be using Xcode? My answer would be, well, yes and no. You could potentially use another platform to compile that game on multiple platforms, not just iOS. Or yes, if all you care about is iOS. And there are several great tutorials for getting started with whatever you might want to do with any particular programming environment. Xcode is actually pretty clean. It's only gotten better over time, and it's free.
Definitely.
Not a question from YouTube itself, but what does everyone think is going to be the very short end of the lifespan of Windows XP? And the reason I bring this up is because Chris, you might remember from last night, I had to leave the hangout early because my uncle had a problem with his XP unit. Got a virus, had to reformat C drive, and literally his PCI Express card for Ethernet didn't have the driver installed. And naturally, it was very hard to get that to work again. So, and this goes especially to businesses. How long do they have before it dies completely, even with third-party support?
If I recall, Microsoft has already killed extended support for XP.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna die. Yeah, it's people just will not let go of XP.
Well, gamers pretty much have to now. That if you look at like games that come out for PC right now, they mainly only leave support for Windows 7, Vista, and XP. Because those are like the 3 newest operating systems, so I see gamers getting dropped support in the near future.
Was I the only one who couldn't wait for something other than XP? I mean, I jumped to Vista, mistakenly, and then back to XP, then to OS 10, then to Windows 7. Windows 8 remains to be seen.
I would agree with that, Chris. I think it was mostly a fact of XP was from a different era. It's not built or was ever meant to be built for the things we do today.
Okay, I'm just going to do it. This is going to be a public service announcement. Stop using XP! Okay? It's dead. It's dead. And if you still use XP, you're dead to me. You're dead to us. It doesn't exist. XP, no more. Dead. Gone. No. Get rid of it. Go to 7. Get a new computer. I don't care. Beg, borrow, steal. They're affordable. Sell your old computer. Sell your old things. Sell your clothes. Upgrade. You don't need XP. No more. Stop. Stop.
Oh my god.
So,
Wow.
Chris, what's your point? I agree.
Don't use XP.
These are the same people out there who've held on to Internet Explorer 6, thinking it's the end-all be-all of web browsers.
Did you say don't use Vista or XP?
Okay, I didn't say go to Vista. I said get rid of XP. Nobody in their right mind would be using Vista. Still, nobody.
Can I drop XP and go to 2000?
I prefer that.
I got one for you. Millennium.
No.
I think it's safe to say that we broke Chris.
Okay,
Go to
wait.
7.
If you don't
7.
use them like XP, this would be a question for PJ then. Why do so many people in the blind community like XP with their jaws and everything? They don't like 7, they don't like Vista, they don't like this, they don't like that. It's all inaccessible, yada, yada, yada.
Ah, the accessibility card. Because XP, JAWS and ZoomText more specifically run a lot more stable on Windows XP because it's been more time tested. Vista is just a horror story.
And 7?
7 is actually strangely better than Vista when it comes to stability for screen readers and magnifiers.
We're not talking about Linux, Wicket.
Windows 7 was a big improvement over Vista, but again, that's not really saying much.
And here's the thing that a lot of people seem to forget. Windows 7 Professional, which was made for businesses, has the ability to emulate XP. In the rare event you actually need something to run in an XP environment, you can't just use compatibility mode.
Yes, XP mode.
Well, why not just run a
best inventions Microsoft ever came up with. Granted, it doesn't work half the time.
Yeah, but like a virtual machine. Wouldn't that like bridge the gap effectively for bridge the gap effectively, not defectively? Sorry about that slip of the tongue. Wouldn't that make it at least somewhat easier to accommodate? I don't know. I seriously do not understand why people are clinging on to XP. I don't get it. Enterprise even. I mean, how... Dude, there are some kids watching this video who are younger than XP.
Yeah, Chris, you're exactly right with the whole virtual machine thing. Because that's exactly what Windows XP mode is, except it's extremely locked down so users can't break things.
And don't even get... Someone said Windows 98. Come, give me a break.
And Windows XP mode is available for free on Microsoft's Download Center.
I'm guessing people are still using XP because of the hardware they are having.
They're using XP for the hardware, and you have the blind community that's using it for the accessibility with the screen readers. Trust me, they're all stubborn. I have been there.
So what about, okay, so I understand that there's software and everything, but isn't there equivalent software, say, on Linux, if they don't want to switch to a Mac, which has accessibility?
There's one screen reader in Linux that I know of, and I haven't got to mess around with it, and it's not widely taught as a means of using a computer in the visually impaired community.
So it's an issue of training.
I'll be honest. I use Windows XP for one reason only, and that's to play MechWarrior 3. That's it.
Now, Windows XP was released on August 24th, 2001 as the Windows Experience. It was the first version of Windows to be built on the proven stable Windows NT platform for consumer use.
Yeah, I was going to say, Windows 2000 was the first time that I really had I would say, a stable version of Windows. I used Windows 2000 for the longest time.
Windows 2000 cousin, ME, just...
No. Windows 98 was the cousin of Windows Millennium Edition. Windows 2000 had nothing to do with Millennium.
I think I just threw up a little bit hearing ME.
Wait, Windows 2000 is good. What were they running in CCB that was so horrible, Phil?
They were, well... I forget what it was now.
Okay. We've beaten Windows to death, hopefully. We may have convinced some people out there to finally take the leap and upgrade. Get off of Windows XP already. Please, for the love of YouTube and all that is holy.
Max, they were actually running, or Mix Doctor rather, they were running Windows 7 the last year.
Use my name.
Although there were softwares that were not installed correctly.
I must confess, until 2 months ago, my spouse ran Windows XP as the main computer he is.
So, not to interrupt, and I realize we've flown this and probably beaten it to death, and I really do hope we've beaten XP to death, because if there's an operating system that has definitely seen its day in the sun, it's XP. What are you looking at?
I like XP.
Oh, Dad likes XP. Dad, don't. I just yelled at people like you. Yes?
There's one more big name that still uses XP. Does anyone know who that is?
Steve Gibson.
There you go.
Steve, I love Steve, and Steve definitely knows what he's doing, but let go of the past, man. Move on.
Email him. Tell him that.
Hey, it's Steve's life. He's got to do his own computing stuff. He's on his own. I would never tell anybody what they should be using unless it's XP.
I would have to disagree with H.T. Kennen, I want to say his name is. And on YouTube, I have to say, these conversations that normal humans don't care about. We're all actually normal humans. We just have to have passions about this stuff. And you probably should care about this, if only for the reason that businesses like OC Banks, mortgage companies, still use XP. And if support dies for them, your life is at stake, potentially.
Your livelihood, certainly. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys open or keep this channel open, but we're gonna shift over to my dad, who's arrived. Actually, he's been here the whole time. He was just waiting for 250 likes, and we did get 250 likes. So let's go ahead and everybody welcome Joe, and we'll start potentially another video here.
It's Joe time.
It's Joe time. I like that. All right. So,
someone actually had a question about the whole chat in the stream thing.
The chat in the stream. Hang on. The chat in the stream is this is all the Nomi's private chat. And I show people how to do it. If you subscribe to nomis.com, you should see how I do that, and you can download the file.
I think they meant the other thing, though, at the bottom, the Pound Chris, I think it is.
Yep, same thing.
What would make me switch to Windows 7 if I were on XP right now is Fallout, or Bethesda supposedly won the rights in a lawsuit in order to make a Fallout MMO, which I'm a huge fan of Bethesda and Fallout, so that would make me switch if they drop support for XP onto that video game.
XP rules.
Okay, you guys ready to move on?
Yep.
Yes, but that appears to be one conversation that will not die.
Nope.
The real question is, are Windows XP users ready to move on?
Yes, I am.
You ready?
Never.
We drop the subject.
Did YouTube die out for anyone else? Oh, never mind.
Is it back?
Is it back?
Wait, you have to hit the function key.
Is it back?
I don't think so.
Well, it's broadcasting again.
Huh.
You're good.
Okay.
Okay, hang
We're
on.
good.
All right.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah, I did. It crashed on me once, but I think that this. I don't know if it got saved or what. What, Mom? Yes. Yes. Happy Valentine's Day. Yes. Oh, you want him to say it? Pixie, what the hell are you doing?
She's trying.
Are you nuts? I need a lap. All right, hang on. Let me. I don't know if this whole thing's gonna record, if it's gonna clip or what.
Okay.
Ready?
Where are you going?
Wait,
No.
wait, Mom, are you done?
Yes.
Wait, we're doing this.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? We just got back. We started on a 1 hour errand at about 1 o'clock, I think it was, and it ended up being 2 hours or 3 hours, but we made it. See if anybody has any questions, or do you have something you would like to ask that maybe I can tackle?
Why are you still on Windows XP?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm a believer. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Windows XP is broken!
Not for me. But then I don't use it to the extent maybe some people do. I just basically use...
Try reformatting. It'll be broken.
Well, yeah, because they probably planted that in there, so you'll have to go to the Windows 7, which I also use the Windows 7. To be honest, I'm finding some things in Windows 7 that I like better once I made myself start using it. And the reason I had to start using it, I bought a new laptop, and that's, you can't get XP evidently unless you go out on the internet. So
Philly Computer wants you to talk about the no internet business tax.
Yeah, I had mentioned a sales tax one time when I was talking, and that would only relate basically if you sell a product. If you sell a product from one state to another state, sometimes the taxing authority is where you're located. So if you sell from the state of Washington to the state of Alaska, you're governed by the laws of the state of Washington. So each state is looking at potentially starting to have a sales tax on internet sales. And when I say internet sales, at least at this point, that would just be if you have a retail product. So if you do a service, then that would not be included unless they write the law in such a way to include it, which they can do. And I would suggest each of you watch both, not only your state, but watch the federal level too, because the federal level is looking for revenues, and unless they elect someone with the thought process of Ron Paul, they'll keep looking for it.
Hit the FN key on my computer to connect to the TeamSpeak.
Joe, is this in any way connected to the Amazon tax?
Could be, because Amazon sells products. So I would say that they would be after a company. Each individual state would probably be after Amazon, because if they sell, Amazon, if I'm correct, is here in Washington. So if they sell to the state of Iowa wants that sales tax. They want that revenue, because they probably look at it as, if I can use the terminology, Amazon stealing sales from the state of Iowa. So that's probably how they would look at it.
You have your own YouTube channel. People can subscribe to. Joe Pirillo is your YouTube. Hang on. So they can't hear me right now because they're watching the feed, and they're two different audio sources. What kind of videos would you be putting in your own YouTube channel?
To start with, I'd probably do things that I'm comfortable with. My opinion. I'm always comfortable with my own opinion, and I pretty well stay with it. And someone had asked me a question in one of the media regarding Ron Paul, and the only thing about Ron Paul I'm cautious about is the foreign policy stance. I understand what he's saying, and I don't necessarily disagree with him. But I mentioned the other day, if we get into and Ron Paul's economic stands are right on, they're spot on. And but I would personally like to ask Ron Paul, because a lot of his advertising, he says how he doesn't support earmarks, he doesn't support tax increases, and he doesn't support all these kinds of things, and he hasn't voted for pay raises and that kind of thing. I would like to know just how many pay raises Ron Paul has declined. So voting against him is one thing, but if you really believe that, then you should turn yours back in. Cool? And let me see. The doorbell. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was Wicket heading down the stairs. Someone hit the doorbell. We've talked about doing Route 66 again. We have a son that lives in Texas, and to get from Iowa down to Texas, you in essence have to cross Route 66, and you can cross it at almost any point. But we usually cross it in the state of Missouri and then crisscross it through Oklahoma. But we want to duck back up to Kansas one trip because there's a little spot there we'd like to stop and visit. Do a video on going across Route 66. I'd have to put some pictures together. Maybe I could put like a little slide thing together. But the big thing I want to do before I leave, and I think we're leaving Friday, maybe by Thursday I'll do kind of a quick budget thing for you, because budgeting is very important.
Would you recommend that a freelance consultant create a formal sole proprietorship or LLC?
Most businesses, their best start would be a sole proprietorship, just because ease of accounting, ease of tax preparation. Then if that grows, and then you may want to look at an LLC to try and limit your liability exposure. Sole proprietor, you would leave yourself open for liability suits. But they can also come at you even if you have a corporation. That isn't always total protection, but it's a lot better than no protection at all.
Maybe one more question?
Well, someone's asked if you...
should you W-2 yourself as an owner?
Yeah, as an owner, the only way you would W-2 yourself is if you had a corporation or a LLC or a sub-S corporation. Then you would pay yourself a salary. In addition, you get the earnings. So, but as a sole proprietor, you would complete what they call a Schedule C, and that would flow through to an SE, which is self-employment tax, and that'd be pretty much it. But I would start as a sole proprietor until your business grows, and then obviously talk to tax professionals and legal advice as to what point you'd want to switch it over to corporation.
Did you get it before?
Yeah, I ended it right at like.
That's okay.
This should be fine.
Like 2 seconds before.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Cool. I think that's it.
Bye-bye.
So. All right, Diana, you gonna come over here and unbox your Valentine's goodies?
Yeah.
As long as the stream is still going, I think it's still going. Should be.
See ya, Joe.
All right, so. You ready?
Yes. How will I know if... Hey, everyone. Okay. Go ahead and open them?
Yeah, go ahead and open them. They're your Valentine's Day gifts.
So this is my...
Wait, are you going to read the card?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a card. They did a horrible job with it, but...
Aw, you're sweeter than anything in these boxes. Alright, let's see what's in these. The first one looks... Oh, yum. Chocolate-covered strawberries. White chocolate and dark chocolate. Are they all different? Don't know.
Guess we'll find out.
Oh my gosh. Those look good. Wow. More strawberries. Let's see what this one is. Yum, pineapple. Did you pick these out?
Of course I picked them out.
Chocolate covered pineapple. And the last, this one's the biggest one. So we'll see. Chocolate covered watermelon. Apples. Yum. Thanks, sweetie.
So the first one should be different. They should all be different fruits. So that first one shouldn't be strawberries.
Oh, really? Oh, this is bananas, isn't it? Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Yum.
There you
Let's
go.
dive into these. Joe will help me eat these.
I'm sure Joe will.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Which one should we start with?
I don't know. Oh, so I see. So this is the banana one that's mixed?
Yeah.
Let's try this one. I want to try the banana.
I want to try
and the apple.
Which one do you want to try?
I'll try that pineapple.
Okay, good. That's the one I want to try. We have a coconut one and then a chocolate.
They have coconut. Oh, the strawberry have coconut. We're enjoying Valentine's Day here. May have to move some stuff around, but
That's fresh pineapple.
yeah, it's fresh pineapple. They make them fresh locally.
Oh.
So, you know, you can give flowers to your sweetheart, certainly. And Diana may or may not have flowers. I'm not gonna say because there may or may not be a surprise, or another surprise, I should say. But this is something that the first Valentine's Day that we celebrated together, we were not together physically, and I can only get her a handful of the edible arrangements. But this is much more fun to enjoy, the chocolate-covered fruit, so it's kind of healthy and not so healthy. Yes, Chris, where did you get that from? Asked PJ Hannah. Well, I hesitate to give them any more credit than they deserve, but Edible Arrangements is the name of it. There are other companies who do something similar, but they're so tasty.
They are. That pineapple's good.
Sweet and chocolatey. They're good. So, you have those that need to be refrigerated. Probably refrigerated. Because they'll be keeping cold. Don't really want to leave them out because they're fruit. You guys help fill in the stuff because I'm like...
I'll get them out of your way.
Different. Look at it too, big. You gotta do it 42 times. I did take a bite, it was a big bite.
I saw that coming.
I want to enjoy it too. You just want to scarf it down. The bananas definitely get a thumbs up for me.
Oh, cool.
I'm not a fan of white chocolate, but that was a really good combination. The milk chocolate. Is that which one did you try there? The banana. The banana one's good. I also want to try the apple one. All right, so I think that's about it. I think we're going to wrap up now, 90 minutes into it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. All the likes, all the... and I don't know how this is... I mean, the likes, the shares, etc., not just on the video, but if you like this video, when we upload the individual segments, please, if you can, like, +1, share, tweet, whatever you got to do to get the word out. I appreciate it. It's not just a live, big, long broadcast. The word of the day is... licorice. Licorice is the word of the day. Can you spell licorice? I don't know if I could spell licorice, to tell you the truth. This isn't even a licorice though. It's just cherry artificially flavored little nibbles. There's nothing. It says low fat snack. Yeah, but if you eat this, you'll get fat. Just because you eat fat doesn't mean you get fat. All right, licorice. That's pretty close. I think that's it. That's the word of the day. Good luck spelling it, everybody. I hope everybody has a happy Valentine's Day, certainly. And we would always appreciate any kind of, really, I don't know, communications is the right word, but just, let us know you're out there, right? I mean, you like something, you share something. The more you participate, the more we get to know you on a somewhat personal level, as personal as this can be. But we appreciate you at least tuning in live to these long broadcasts that we have, even if they're no longer broadcasting live. I'm hoping, even we had a burp, the Wirecast software crashed when Dad, right before Dad was doing his thing, it quit. So I don't know if that's going to happen again. I don't know if the recording is going to be salvaged or what. But let's hope that it was just a small little burp, little hiccup, and that the whole live recording was saved. And if it wasn't, well, I guess, we did our best in making this work in the best way that we possibly could. And I just want to say, everybody, happy Valentine's Day once again, no matter if you celebrate it or not. If you are feeling alone, you are definitely not alone. We are here with you, at least, virtually. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. Head over to live.pirillo.com, LockerGnome.net, wherever you got to go. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I've got to go on a hot date with Diana, and also after that, what are we going to see? What are we going to do after the date?
Go to the movie.
Well, that is part of the date. They go to the movie.
Oh.
Then I'm going to get some well-deserved sleep because I've been staying up very late at night working on things that need to be worked on to make sure that you get what you need from us, the LockerGnome crew. So if you want to join us, again, you can stop by the chat room at live.pirillo.com. And with that, we'll see you later.